Hey everybody, welcome to Junction City today. I am your host, Craig Bielik. Of course, you know me, and many of you also know the man sitting next to me. This is Jim Harvey, your county commissioner. Your recently re-elected county commissioner.
Thank you.
You were up for re-election this year. Won.
Yeah.
Still in the same spot. This will be, what, your fourth year as a county commissioner?
This will be moving into from four to, it was 4-year term, so my fifth.
Okay, so you're fifth, right? Yeah, so that's how that works, right?
Right.
And you and I know each other from a long way back.
Long time ago.
A long way back, yeah. He wants to thank his voters out there that voted for him, and he wants to make sure you guys know that he appreciates it, don't you, Jim?
Appreciate the support very much, yeah. Thank you.
We had, for our last Junction City Day, we had your counterpart, Commissioner Jenkins, and he talked to us a little bit about zoning and things like that. And you and I were talking right before we came on the air that your particular kind of corner, if you will, of the commission is our county facilities.
Correct.
And I'll bet you that if you stop 10 people on the street and ask them to name 4 county facilities, I'll bet most people can't get past 2 or 3 of them, right?
If they get to 1 or 2, yeah. Most people don't recognize the county as one who holds facilities. Normally the municipalities, you know, the Ogdens, the West Havens, the Roys, the North Ogdens, they're the ones that have their parks or an amphitheater or whatever have you. But our county in the 29 counties of the state of Utah is unique because we actually have facilities that bring in tourists, which is very helpful to our bottom line and the Weber County tax base.
Right.
So it's hugely important.
Let's tick them off. I mean, let's talk about what they are. I mean, I can name probably 4 off the top of my head. Go ahead. So, Golden Spike Event Center.
Golden Spike Event Center.
Perry's Egyptian Theater Conference Center. Well, not the theater, but the conference center.
Okay.
All right.
Both of them.
The ice rink.
The ice sheet. Yep.
The ice sheet. Yes. Okay. Now
you're all right.
I'm doing well, Aaron. The gun range.
The shooting complex out on Rulon Y, out by Pleasant View.
Oh my gosh, what's the?
You're doing good.
Oh.
How about the Fort Buenaventura?
Fort Buenaventura.
Right in the heart of town.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then new archery range.
We have the new archery range.
Which is something to talk about.
So people who've been around Weber County for a while know that we used to have a dump here, right in the middle of town.
Yes.
Well, it was right off of A Avenue.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was capped 20, 30 years ago. And there's an observatory park. We've actually held the state mountain bike, state high school mountain bike races there the last, well, except for COVID, the last 2 years before that. And then a little further going to the west, there was a little swell back behind there before you get out to the flower plant out there. And we actually using some hunters, you know, the Pittman-Robertson money.
Okay.
Where they get a little off the. We built. We were able to apply for a grant from there and build a beautiful archery center that's just. It's been doing very, very well. It's,
It just
so busy.
opened, just barely opened.
It opened last fall. We've exceeded all the expectations everywhere down there. We have outdoor facilities and indoor facilities there. All of our leagues are full. We're adding more classes and nights every season.
Yeah.
It's just done so well, and people who make archery equipment like the Easton Enterprises, Hoyt, they're so excited because the model is something they've never seen, even them. Never been seen before. It's just done so well. A lot of excitement. We're almost finished with a new outdoor little range where they're like a Nerf bow and arrow for kids starting at age 3.
Yeah. Oh,
so
you're
for
kidding
people,
me.
it's so cool.
So how does that work? Can you go down there and rent a bow and arrow, or do you have to bring your own? Or?
Both. They have rentals down there, or there's also equipment shops. It's a equipment shop, so people can do either one, and you can go in and go in at a single time, or you can buy an annual pass or a family pass.
Yeah.
Archery is a great sport because it's an all ability. You know, whether you're if you're
as long as you can pull a string back, you can probably fire, right?
And they have different compressions and power on those strings. But then people can get out and walk, and we do it all safely and move around, and yet do a little exercise and some target shooting. And we have some live animals. It's a target type practice that people can go and try that.
Not real animals.
No. Sorry, live. I should say. They call them 3D targets. Thanks, Craig.
Okay. Woo.
3D
I was going to
targets.
say we have live animals.
No. Well, they're actually, they come through, but no, we have 3D targets down there.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Can I shoot an apple off my friend's head with a bow and arrow down there? I've always
I don't
wanted
know.
to.
I don't know.
I've always wanted
But those
to.
Nerf things might be a good way to start out.
Yeah, I think we better practice with that. That's an exciting development.
Let's keep going with the facilities. And so you got to Fort Buenaventura.
All right, we have...
Let's if I were to say parks. So North Fork Park up in the Eden Liberty area.
Great snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, all that stuff up there.
Fat bikes are also included in that.
You are right.
And
I've done that.
Here's a great thing. You know, with COVID, people think, gosh, should we just shut down? Well, we didn't. In May of 2019, we have RV spots up there where people can go up and camp. And the county actually collected in May of 2019, we collected $6,800 in revenue, which was pretty good for campsites.
Okay, yeah.
Contrast that with May of 2020,
Yeah.
we did $64,000,
mercy.
almost 1,000%.
Yeah, it was hard to get a camp spot.
It was
this time.
just amazing.
Yeah.
It's that park is it's such a jewel for Weber County, the people of Weber County, and it's been very, very busy. They've done a wonderful job up there.
I love North Fork.
So
I just love to hike up there and snowshoe the whole bit.
It's so beautiful. We also have Weber Memorial Park.
Okay, yes.
Which is right below Causey Reservoir.
Right where Causey spills out right there. That's the Weber counties. And that's a nice place too.
It's a beautiful place.
Very popular. One of the things you've got there is not only can you camp, like that's a good place for family reunions. Because you've got that big picnic area, play football, softball, whatever you do.
2 years ago.
Shoot apples off each other's heads.
Well, 2 years ago, a guy by the name, we call him Thor, he's with the Mountain Men. He's such a talented man. But he came up and he rebuilt that cabin. He made from iron the hinges and the latches.
Wow.
And there's an indoor cabin that has sinks and places to cook there. It's a great, with the pavers outside by the river.
Yep.
It's a great place for people to do any kind of party or a family reunion up there. So Memorial Park's another great place. And we have camp hosts up there that do a great job allowing people to park and stay right by the river up there as well.
So we've hit probably 10.
Well,
and there's more.
There's, the county's done a wonderful job. Now people think, well, what about Causey Reservoir? What about Pineview Reservoir? Those are actually controlled by the state and federal government.
Okay.
But we work with them in helping them be as best a product that can be. For instance, we actually added toilets up there. We weren't supposed to, but there needed to be some relief because it's so used up there.
It's so crowded at Causey. Ever since paddle boarding and all that other stuff came out.
You know, Craig, when we were in high school, they didn't have paddle boards.
No.
You know,
well, we found a board and we paddled each other with it. That was a paddle board back then.
We didn't do it on the water. We did it right?
No, we didn't do that. I used to go up to Causey on a Saturday and there'd be 100 people there. Now you go up and there's 2,000.
We actually built a parking lot up there last year, and it turned out to be really, really a very well accepted thing. We've actually targeted. We're working with the federal government. We've actually are in line for a grant that should be funded this year and distributed probably the next year. That's how that goes. And so in the next couple of years, you'll even see more improvements around Pineview Reservoir and also up at Causey to make that even more visitor friendly.
Right.
So
is that walking and bike trail around Pineview? Is that Weber County property, or how does that work?
The Northern Utah Trails Association, their foundation, they've done such a good job doing that Pineview Loop. Yeah. And many of those are paved going around Pineview. The bridge is in now, and we just awarded them another $200,000 to continue that trail to go around Pineview. So that's continuing. We're getting closer and closer to getting all the way around there, and eventually that will happen. It's a sweet deal.
Well, I want to go back to, because right before we came on air, I mentioned to you, I said, Jim, we're going to open up Golden Spike Arena now. I mean, we've had some trouble with COVID and all those other kind of things. And you said, Craig, was never closed. right? I mean, they held the fair there, sort of a limited fair.
It was an unfair.
Unfair. That's what
we had. It was an unfair.
This is so unfair.
Well, we had kids in the community that had been raising livestock for a year.
Sure.
They invested in it. You know, they bought their hogs or their steers or their lambs, and they put all this money into it, and then all of a sudden to not hold a fair. So we moved that from that confined auction arena. We moved that to the inside the Golden Spike Arena. It seats 5,800 people.
Yeah.
So for the 800 people that come to the auction, we had plenty of social distancing there. We had a great sale. The kids were able to be successful in there, and so that 4-H program is such and junior livestock program is such a great thing for the youth of Weber County.
And
so
going
we
forward,
did that.
Yeah.
We've still done a lot of events, and for instance, a barrel race. Normally, a barrel race, they'll come in for a couple of days and run. Well, instead of doing it a couple of days, we spread that out. We spread the hours out, and we'd say, okay, you need to park at this time, go in and run your pattern, and then leave at this time. So we didn't. We were able to spread those people out over 24, 48, 72 hours so they could still come, keep their horses exercised. It might have been a little inconvenience because you were running at 2 a.m. in the morning or at 10 a.m. in the morning or something like that, or at 10 o'clock at night. It's just they did it a little differently so they could maintain the safety and social distancing. And it's been really good. We did horse racing. We did it all did simulcast this year, so they could watch it on their smart devices, and it worked out really good. I got to tell you, you know, when you normally get a high school rodeo, you get usually about 350, 400 entries. We started about 5 years ago a preseason high school rodeo. Like preseason football, preseason basketball.
Right.
We started preseason rodeo. This year, we've invited many of the surrounding states. We also have 2 provinces in Canada coming, but we have 1,400 entries and 700 stall reservations. Luckily, it's a 10 by 10 stall, so we have horse social distancing still going on. But those reservations are bleeding over into the other counties. It's a really successful event that'll start to happen here around the first weekend of March. And so we invite the public, if they're masked up. We can do these events if the public just, whether they agree with the mask or not. The rule is right now, wear the mask.
Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah.
And that's how we can keep doing these things.
Yeah, that's how we have to do it. And if you don't, I'm sorry if you don't like it or whatever, but that's just how it has to be for the time being.
For right now.
Well, this is incredible because, again, I don't think anybody out there really knows how much all this adds up to be. And everything that the Weber County Commission has on their plate for just managing and overseeing all of the facilities that you have.
Well, the great thing is the Utah Department of Travel has told us that every property in Weber County gets a $1,318, so $1,318 credit on their tax notice because of all the tourism we bring in because of those events. Now, there's not a line item that says $1,318 credit, but because of the TRT and the TRCC that comes in, the transient room tax, that's how much it contributes positively to the bottom line of the. Our local Convention Visitors Bureau, our folks that work at all the county facilities, Culture Parks and Recreation, do a fantastic job, and they're still doing everything they can to support the public. So we're really lucky in Weber County to have these jewels to go with. So.
I'll say, and again, you probably did not know that there were that many of them out there and everything. Now, this keeps you busy.
It keeps them busy. We are lucky. We've got I think one of the best teams we've ever had in Weber County. Having worked here for 28 years now, and it's just we have got great team members here.
Well, for wrapping up,
Yep.
What's the one thing you're looking forward to in 2021?
Being able to continue to practice at our venues safely. I'm literally looking forward to some of the things starting to happen again at the Ogden Eccles Conference Center and the Peary's Egyptian Theater, so we can round out those things. You know, up at the ice sheet, we have had some successful hockey tournaments, but we've had to distance. I do know that if they'll choose to continue wearing masks, you'll see that we'll be able to seat people closer We may not be able to serve them food at the same time.
Right.
But letting more people out and enjoy different things. And so there'll be some restrictions that in the past we weren't used to, but I'm hoping that you'll see some of our venues starting to open up and people start to see some semblance of what they were used to before 2020, and that's what I'm looking forward to most. Is I think it brings that positive energy back, and people will start. I think they'll do it.
I love it. I love it. My guest, Jim Harvey, today, Weber County Commissioner, newly reelected. I already said that, right? You have that newly reelected smell, of a commissioner. Because did you know it's like a new car? So you sold cars at one time in your life. You know this.
It's not Elsha, that's for sure.
All of that. We need to have you back, Jim, because there's so much more to talk about.
Good to see you, friend.
And I just love it to know. I like to know personally what is going on. And I am just really, really happy that we're starting to get our arms around this and figuring out a way to keep this stuff going.
Very optimistic. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. This is Craig Bielik. I am your host, Junction City Today. Please join us again. Jim's going to come back, and we're going to make him talk about something. I don't know. We're going to make Jim talk about things he doesn't know about for our next one, because you saw how knowledgeable he was. So next time we're going to ask him about bass guitars or something like that. We're going to want to know how high the string should be off the fret in order to get that good slapping sound. We want to know what kind of pickups to use. Jim's going to prepare. Watch us next time. You'll see.
Thanks.